What is going on, traders? Nick from LTL Signals. Today we're going over support and resistance. So I want to keep it short and simple because support and resistance is probably the most fundamental component of technical analysis, but it's also the most important because no matter how good of a trader you are, every single one of your trades is going to be based off of support and resistance in some way or another. Just for timing your entries, whether it be on a swing trade or an intraday trade, it's support and resistance is always going to play a role in your trade. So all support and resistance is an area on the chart that's been tested multiple times. I like to think of it as a wall of buyers and sellers. So if we look at Alibaba here, if you look at the first, let's see, hour and 50 minutes. So from right here, from 8:30 to 9:50, so hour 20 minutes. So we see the market open and we're looking at Alibaba and we're trying to find an area of support and resistance. So first off, support we could see is right here because the price could not get through this 169.50-ish level. So that's where the price was tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is the 1 minute chart, by the way. And then, so we know that people are going to be buying at this level if it ever gets retested again. Now, what we want to find for a potential breakout to the long side is an area of resistance. So you look up here, the chart was tested at the 170.50 level multiple times. So draw a line here real quick. Now you could see market opens, breaks through resistance, down, hits support, comes back up, and it peaks through, and then it breaks. Peaks back through right here. You can see with the candle wicks, then it breaks back down, tests again, breaks back down, comes back, hits support, and then it starts to slowly ride back up. And then, boom, it goes through with this wick here, and then it slams back down. So this is clearly an area of resistance right here. Just because it's tested more than once, we can come to the assumption that it's a good area of selling where a lot of people will be selling their shares. Now, if we move further down in the chart, Alibaba comes back up and retests and then breaks through. So the reason that support and resistance is so critical for timing your entries is, for example, if you're a breakout trader and you want to buy a stock at the breakout level, knowing where resistance is super critical. So knowing that Alibaba has resistance at 170.50, and we're watching this throughout the day and we see that it's starting to come back up and then it pushes up with conviction all the way up to 175 and then it holds, unlike back here when it gets slammed back down immediately. Right here we see that it holds this previously tested area of resistance and then it breaks out for a nice little uptrend that you could scalp for, a good dollar or so right there in that one move. And then chart comes back down, and then look, it tests previous resistance as support right here. And then it starts riding back up. So a lot of times on charts you'll see that previous areas of resistance will be held as support, and vice versa. Previous areas of support will be held as resistance when charts start making a move to the downside. And then looking at the entire day, it tested that same exact level again as support and then held. So that is why support and resistance is so critical, you guys. You got to use it to time your entries. Use it as a form of risk management. So you don't want to be entering a trade all the way up here where you just don't know where the stock's going to go one way or the other. You want to be entering right at these support and resistance levels and be using those as your risk management tools to identify where you want to get out of a trade. So you enter, let's say, at 170.60, and you don't want to get out until it breaks this support level. That's how you manage risk, guys. That's the name of the game, is managing risk when you are a trader. If you can learn the rules of managing risk, you will be successful in this game. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.